This is Myanmar, and this is a mine of a HREE in Myanmar. In the past 10 years, I'll give you figures later. Myanmar's production of rare earth has gone up from 0.2% to 14%. And this 14% is all heavy rare earths, HREs. It's not LRE. So actually, Myanmar produces nearly about 70 to 80% of HRE in the world. So now you know why everyone runs after Myanmar. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, Myanmar is the world's largest producer of terbium and dysprosium. Okay, this is a fact today. This is a fact. Now I'm going to connect it to something else. What is QSHI? QSHI is a bi-monthly. It comes once in 2 months. It's the core journal or the core outlet of Chinese Communist Party. This is the edition of January 24. And Xi Jinping gives out his ideas through this. What does he say? Understanding new collective productive forces and accelerating their development. We know what are the new quality productive forces. What are it? They are EVs, rooftop solars, wind, renewables, all that. Isn't it? उसके लिए क्या चाहिए आपको? You need RE, you need heavy REs. All this starts in 24. Huh? That's why I'm going to connect dots. Okay, now I'm going to go back to Myanmar. Where is all this available in Myanmar? This is Myanmar here, and this is China. If you see here, it is in this part. This is Myanmar picture, small one. Right, let me make it bigger. Yeah. Okay, this part of Myanmar, the top part where my thing is. Right. From 2009-24, Myanmar has been China's primary rare earth supplier. Before that, it wasn't. That's what I said, from 0.2% to 14%. Okay. So this is something which we need to understand. Right. Now, this is the process. So Myanmar, from the rare earth mines, they go to Chinese processing plants. And from there, permanent magnets are made. And then they're going to electronic vehicle manufacturers or for wind turbine manufacturers. It goes, that's the route. Okay. Very interesting so far. Here comes the crux of the story. This is the import of, incidentally, Myanmar exports rare earth materials only to China, nowhere else. It doesn't have any other market. And they make only HREs. You see this growth of rare earth materials or HREs from Myanmar to China, except this 22, which was basically border closure due to COVID. Now, the interesting part is, up to here, it's about 20,000. Suddenly, it's doubled. And it has gone even further this year, or last year. I don't have the figures, but what I read, it has gone up. It's gone up to 70,000. October 23. In October 23, this Three Brotherhood Army starts a new phase of civil war in Myanmar. So here comes the connection. 21, there's a civil war in Myanmar. Uh, till the civil war was there, the whole government, everyone, the control of all this was with the government. Then the civil war happens, the military junta takes over, and it takes control of the mines, takes control of the mines. And then suddenly, uh, this is all happening in 23, 21, 22, 23. And then this Three Brotherhood army starts off in the north, and there's a revolution out there, a civil war, which I've explained to you about drugs, this, that, all the 23. And the control over this entire area is loosened from the junta. The junta earlier and the government didn't allow too much production in that area. So suddenly that thing goes off. And then Xi Jinping comes out of this new productive forces, and this is all based on this. And all this HRE starts going from Myanmar to this. All this is planned. And the way I look at it, all this is planned. China has done it beautifully. China saw that, look, this is the way to go forward, that we need our new productive forces is based on, rooftop solar and EVs and all that, for which you need rare earth elements, which we don't have. They don't have that much, incidentally. That's all in Myanmar. Myanmar, this is under control of the army. The army will not let it go, and the army was not very clear, happy to give it. So they instigate a revolution. The revolution happens. Myanmar army is busy. These chaps are busy, and they do local deals, and material is flowing around. So you see the story. It's all in, and you see the amount, of import which China does vis-a-vis others. If you see here, 24, their import has gone up because they have started getting some from Africa. वहां भी चल रहा है कहानी, right? So they want to concentrate the whole thing, and their whole story is EVs. Basically EVs. Now let's go into a mine in Myanmar to understand other issues. Now this is a mine. This is a photograph of a mine. You see, this is the leaching pond, and this is where the stacks are kept, because they have to stack it, put it in some manner, and burn it, and then put it all that, right? Now these are the leaching ponds, washing ponds. Okay, and this is the aftermath. After you've taken off all you've taken off all the rare earths from an area, this is how it is. Nothing grows in that after that. Now what happens? Pipes are put on a hillside. This is right? Pipes are put on a hillside, and some chemical is pushed into this. There's a pipe put horizontally in. There's a tank made. So the water comes out here, or the liquid comes out. And this is another this thing. So now let me explain this in clear. Ammonium sulfate is injected into pipes. Okay. Now as the solution comes down the slope, it gathers raw earth materials. It's the ammonium sulfate which pulls that out. Okay. And then China is the one who developed this technique, and it did this in situ leaching way back in 1980s. And there is a widespread reporting of polluted water courses, farmland, destruction of vegetation in Myanmar. I'm not talking of England or China. China mein jo hua, we don't know. Then nothing comes out. Once this leaching is done, you can't plant anything in the fields. You can't catch fish. Animals die if they drink that water. Why? Apart from the fact that you use ammonium sulfate at the top, you use something called oxalic acid to treat the rare earth metals. Once the draining is done, from the mountainside in those. And that oxalic acid is let go into atmosphere. I won't say atmosphere, wherever they're draining it out. And that oxalic acid is poison. It's poison. Period. Now, this is a report coming from this report I've taken out straight from someone who's reported on Myanmar in detail. And this report is not one, there are about 8, 9 reports of various varieties. Workers complain of coughing, numbness, skin conditions, kidney issues, health risks from the chemical cocktail used in these mines. Okay. Now you will say, sir, heck, where is all this nonsense going on? I showed you that areas, which I'll go back. This is a place. Now let's go into these areas. This is a place called Chipwe and Pangwar, and the other place is called Momak. We'll go to those and see how things are. Yeah. Now, this is Myanmar. This is China. This is Momak. Okay. And if you see these roads are coming with red dots and all, these are all part of China. This entire area is Myanmar. Now, this overlay which I put, this overlay is something which I got from the net, and I adjusted it to the maps here. These are the sites, mining sites. All this, I'll just go back. See? Now see the mining sites here again. And these are old. My guess is more have come up. Let's go zoom into this place where I put the circle. This is the area. This is the area. Now when I zoom in here, this is the picture I showed you earlier. You get to this mining site. If you go into that area, all of you can do this and you'll get all these. It's not a, this is not, what shall I say, Robert Newton's discovery. This is available all over. This is open. Go to Google Earth and you will get it. Now let's go to the other place called Chipwe and Pangwar. Same here. If you see, now you see this belt. This looks like a township. It's not. These are all mines. Yeah, these are all mines. Overlay. So the complete belt is full of this nonsense. Now you must see this fully. This is a 3D picture I took of the one area of mining in this Chipwe area. Hills, all these roads, there's no habitation there. It all goes to mines. These are the mines. You see this? This is a mine. See this here? This is a mine. This is a mine. I'll take it off and see. Concentrate on just that, and you'll. Let me see. I don't know if you can make it bigger. No. Unfortunately, I can't make it bigger. Okay. So you see this? See here. See here. See here. These are all. See, all these are in a slope. They go slope mein. You put pipes so that you can all this. Okay. So that's the correlation which you see. Now this is even better. It correlates with the earlier the import from Myanmar and now the passenger sales, car sales. This shows EVs. Okay, this is the number of EVs, percentage of EVs which have kept going up. It tracks what's coming from Myanmar. It tracks what Mr. Xi Jinping talks of high quality development and new productive forces. All this comes from Myanmar, HRE, at the expense of Myanmar. See this, and see this. Okay. I'm sure the Chinese are already fuming at me. There's nothing connected unless you connect them. When you connect them, everything comes out. This is not my imagination. It's just that I started seeing these graphs and suddenly there it is. The growth in EVs, the import from Myanmar, new productive forces, there's nothing special which China has done. And you see the turmoil in Myanmar. They're all coincidental. Let me put another angle to it. This is the time when Manipur also went on into tailspin. Forced us to look inward. I mean, if someone tells me that, look, this is all altruism, I'm this thing, sorry. I suggest you guys, all of you who are seeing this, please give it to all your friends. What's happening? Now, see the same graphs which are going up. 21, 22, suddenly everything starts taking off in all over the globe. Okay. Now let me come to what should we do. This is the crux of the problem, isn't it? What should India do? The first question we have to ask for ourselves, are clean energy systems really clean? You see the amount of contamination, everything. So if they're not clean, is there a requirement to prioritize what we should use and what we should not use, how much we should extract and how much we should not extract? If we tell to ourselves blindly that no, we should also extract whatever we have, then we'll be fools. We'll be lost. We can't afford it. We don't have that kind of land where we can afford it. Our people you can't handle the sickness. And I'm sure this will be one of the problems which China is facing. I mean, I'm not sure, I'm 100% confident. If tomorrow China starts going down, it will be because of this. So you need to prioritize. Then is there a case of hybrid technologies? Do you need an EV? I will not, after going through all this, I will not buy an EV. Because I think environmentally, the EV is more dirty than a fossil fuel vehicle. Can I have an EV based on a hybrid EV where I use lesser magnets and lesser things which I can get otherwise? So India, I feel, should go the hybrid route. And with fossil fuels available, and you can make tomorrow synthetic fossil fuels, or go in for the hydrogen route, or you go in for anything else, will probably be better, right? So you don't have to do exactly this. Okay. Then there is something called fly ash extraction. There's a new thing which people are thinking of. What is fly ash extraction? You know, the coal which we use comes from the ground, and that also has REEs. Now that people say, look, once you burn the coal, everything, that fly ash which goes off, fly ash, that's a dua, capture that, and that fly ash, which is actually captured in a thermal, uh, mine, or I won't say thermal mine, thermal system, uh, and disposed as waste or made use for landfills and all that. So you mine that for REs. But that depends whether the original place where you get the coal is got enough REs. So that's a process. Maybe we could look at it. We should need to exploit it. Increase production of HREs to uh, the extent you want. Not much. to the extent you want. Okay, and you do can you do a deal with Myanmar? If China can do, can we do? These are the possibilities. They have done it at that place. There are other places in Myanmar where we can do this nearer to our area? Can we do this technology for resources? Give them, ask Japan to give you technology for the ore which you give. Otherwise, say sorry, nothing more. Can you do a G2G deal with rare earths? Can we start going up the value chain so that you get the technology? Okay. Then can you invest into technologies? There's something called electrokinetic extraction, where you don't do acid leaching and all that. Can we invest into that and get hold of it? That holds promise to extract more with less effort. Okay. Right? Can we start? Can we stop relying on a single source of supply? Can we say, okay, can we do a consortium with USA and Japan and Australia and India? Quad? Can Quad start looking at rare earths? Can you exploit new sources? There are some sources, they say, in Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan and all that. Sands. Can you start looking at it? Can we invest into recycling? After all, if there's a mobile phone, this has got REEs in it. When I finish off with it, I'll throw it off. Is there a way to extract that RE from this? Take it out. After all, this glass, it's got a glass, isn't it? This glass, some magnets inside will have REs. The same thing with cars. So when you sell a car or finally take it to someone, can we set up a place where you rip a car apart and take all these out for extraction? Start the process, because you still don't have that many EVs, you still don't have that many electronic equipment from which you can not extract. Lot which has gone, it has gone, but can you start doing that? I mean, when you do recycling, waste disposal has to be attractive. So, I mean, these are some of the ideas. My firm thing is that it's time to jettison the electronic vehicle route and go in for hybrid.